welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. My name is Christian Ballade and I will be your host for today's concert. Today marks a special occasion as we proudly present the talented students of Hunter Mill Music Studio live. Every 2 months, these dedicated young musicians step into the spotlight, sharing the fruits of their hard work and passion through the class concerts. Each concert offers a fresh and exciting program, showcasing the diverse skills and musical journey of our students. We are connecting musicians and audiences in real-time performances and music news from around the globe. In our studio, we provide nurturing for students' personal growth. We help them learn technical skills necessary to be confident players, but more importantly, we teach them the art of communicating and expressing through musical language. We teach our students a wide variety of repertoire, both solo and in chamber music collaboration, stage presence and ability to speak publicly, artistic etiquette, discipline, thoughtful and intelligent approach to practicing, supporting subjects such as music theory and history. Our students participate in numerous performances in varied settings: recital, festivals, competitions, presentations, skill tests, TV shows, and professional recording sessions. They perform on stages contrasting as retirement communities at Carnegie Hall or the Kennedy Center. We hope to send our students off with true lifelong love for music arts and strong skills which allow them to continue enjoy making music and bringing joy to themselves and others. Prepare for captivating musical journey. Today, every student will play just one composition and also 6 students will show us a special project. Our program today boasts a stunning selection of pieces from the masters like Chopin, Ligeti, Bartok, Tchaikovsky, Mendelssohn, Mozart, Schumann, Liszt and Grieg. And we go now to the studio directly with the first the first performer students today is gonna be Chen, who gonna play us Mendelssohn's Andante and Rondo Cappriccioso Opus 14. So let's start. Chen, this virtual stage is yours. Good luck.
Even though
Bravissimo! We just heard Harry Chen performing Mendelssohn Andante Rondo Cappriccioso Opus 14. And we continue with our second student today. It's gonna be Charlotte Guinevere Bui, and gonna perform a Clementi Sonatina in Opus 36, number 1 in C major, just the first movement. Charlotte, I hope you're ready, and the stage is yours.
Okay, Charlotte is not here yet, so we will have you two guys go after. Okay? Charlotte is not here yet, so we'll move on to the next event.
Okay, I think Charlotte is not in the studio, so we're just gonna make a little promo break, and after we're gonna come back, like maybe in 5 minutes. We're gonna show some little trailers, what we are having now, like the next ongoing projects or programs what we have. So enjoy and see you later. And Charlotte just show up, so we go to the studio and the stage is yours, Charlotte. Thank you, Charlotte. That was amazing, and we are very happy that you made it to the studio, I think. So, but now we're gonna do a little promo, just like maybe 5 minutes to show, because I just started, so I want to finish also what I started. So let's see a short promo about our call orchestra project. What we have next is in 2 days. So enjoy. Okay, so now we are back. We're gonna go back to the studio. We are continuing with Olivia Zhao, and she's gonna play Chopin Nocturne Opus 72, number 1. And she's gonna have also a project. I hope we can hear everything. we're gonna try to get the best out of it. So the stage is yours, Olivia. Have fun. Thank you, Olivia. We just heard Chopin Nocturne Op.72, number 1. And she's gonna show our now little project. So let's see. Thank you so much. And now we're gonna go with Joel Chen. I just told before that we're gonna see a project after the piece, but we're gonna play first everybody, all the students, and after the 6 other students gonna show the project. So we go now with Joel Chen, and he gonna play Chopin Ballade number 1 in G minor. The stage is yours, Joel. Bravissimo, Joel. Thank you so much for your Ballade number 1 from Chopin. And now the next student gonna be Jack Nossaman. And Jack gonna play for us today Rachmaninoff, Sergei Rachmaninoff, Opus 16 number 3, just the third movement. The stage is yours, Jack.
That wasn't bad. I wiped out, but like,
Thank you, Jack. And the ninth student today gonna be Coco Tchong. And Coco Tchong gonna perform today from Edvard Grieg, Vanished Days, Opus 57. Coco, the stage is yours. Thank you, Lucia Tang, for your Liszt Nocturne number 3, Liebestraum. And we go on with Jonathan Hammer. And he's gonna play from Bela Bartok, Dance in Bulgarian Rhythm. Enjoy, Jonathan, the stage is yours. Thank you, Jonathan, for your Bartok, Dance in Bulgarian Rhythm 6. And now we go with Abby Nossaman. I'm gonna play Chopin Etude Opus 10, number 9 in F minor. The stage is yours. Thank you, Abby, for your Chopin. And we go on with Joanna Chow. And Joanna gonna play us today Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart Piano Sonata number 18 in D major, the first movement. Good luck, Joanna. The virtual stage is yours. Thank you, Joanna. And let's go on with Katie Lee. And Katie Lee gonna play for us today Chopin Fantasy in C sharp minor, opus 66. Katie Lee, good luck, and the stage is yours. Enjoy. Lee for this amazing performance of Chopin Fantasy Impromptu in C sharp. And we're going on now with Lucia Gonyea. And Lucia Gonyea gonna play for us Schumann Knecht Ruprecht. So the stage is yours. Thank you, Lucia. And we have just 2 more students before we go to the individual projects. And we have now Kaiden Griggs, who gonna perform Chopin Scherzo Opus 31 in B flat minor. Good luck, Kaiden. Kaiden. That was amazing and really powerful for a scherzo. So, and today the last one. The last student gonna perform just a normal composition. What was preferred gonna be Marcela Gonyea or Gonyea. I'm so sorry. And gonna play Beethoven Sonata number 14 in C sharp minor, the third movement, quasi una fantasia. So, and after this student, after Marcella, we're gonna show the individual project. So have fun.
present Olivia.
For my project, I created a custom album cover. This album cover was inspired by the pieces I've played over the course of this year. I decided to create this as my project because I thought that it would be a good representation of music and how it can connect to people's emotions. I have a sunset to represent the different layers and dynamics of the pieces. The waves represent the theme of peace and tranquility in my music, and the eyes represent how my pieces gave me a different view of music and the piano.
If anyone wants to see it, so that you can get judgment.
For my project, I made a scrapbook because we've been doing scrapbooking and journaling during school, and I've really enjoyed it. So each page is like a song that I've played throughout the year. Some of them have like what the song made me feel like. Others had like what I felt, how it impacted me throughout the year, and some other things. This scrapbook consists of my challenges, and also it can also be like a reflection, and yeah.
Okay, next, Lucia. You just say please next slide. Because you got an assistant, she had an assistant who is currently in Europe. And that assistant is going to put the slides up. International presentation.
Okay, so for the majority of this year, I spent my time.
And you're out of the camera view, so.
So for the majority of this year, I spent my time working on Mendelssohn's Second Concerto. So I decided to make my project kind of on this, and I managed to acquire a very sacred item, which is Mendelssohn's personal private diary while he was writing this concerto. So I thought it would be a great idea to show everyone what his thought process was like while he was writing it, and hopefully everyone can understand his concerto a little bit better. So the name of his journal is called I Came, I Saw, I Composed. And, yeah. See, next. Okay, so this is his private diary, as I already mentioned. So you might see some rather unhinged stuff in here. Next. So, our favorite composer got a little bit distracted while he was composing this wonderful concerto. Next. He was really procrastinating here. Next. Next. Next.
It's wonderful caption.
Okay, so he was like kind of writing to his diary as if it was an audience. So, diary, are you ready? Get prepared for some major drama from yours truly, Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy. I almost forgot how to spell my last name. Next. So, movement 1. Dear diary, when I sat down to draft my second concerto, I was deeply troubled. Sure, my first concerto had just been a worldwide hit, but I had been on my very first tour. I know, so snazzy, so Sigma. But currently, I was experiencing some pretty big drama. My girlfriend Delphine and I were having a huge fight because she was complaining that I didn't spend enough time with her. Like, bro, what? So naturally, I had to take all my anger out on the pianist. Good luck on those passages. Okay, but I gotta crash out now. Next. So this is his girlfriend Delphine. Next. Movement 2. Bad news, me and Delphine broke up. So I apologize in advance if this movement makes you cry. I was just trying to make my bawling sound more harmonized. So I wrote most of this while sitting on my chamber pot on my balcony in the middle of the night. Wondering if Delphine really appreciated my music or if she just liked my totally awesome jawline. So I think this movement actually sounds kind of pretty, and I hope you all like the really cool melody that I definitely didn't get from my sobbing. Anyways, enjoy movement 2, and you guys have no idea how treacherous I made the left-hand passages. Next. So, during the next few months of his life, Mendelssohn managed to get a new girlfriend, and her name was Cecile. Next. So, Cecile is actually really stunning, and this third movement, he may have gotten a little bit too excited with those staccatos, but it was dedicated to Cecile, and his love letter is, "You're just so vibrant and full of laughter and Liszt jokes, and I actually love you so much, my cookie." Oh yeah, don't forget about the ending. You should probably get a massage after, because I was inspired by Cecile's really thick pinkies, and she managed to play melodies really nicely. So my second concerto is done, so I hope you all enjoyed it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications, and support my Patreon. Unfortunately, he procrastinated so much that this 20-minute concerto took me a whole 5 months to write. But he's going on a date with Cecile in a few minutes, and he's going to propose, so wish him luck. Yes.
So I have a video that I'll be talking along with the background music and slideshow.
So, Evie, give your assistant an instruction. What do you want him to do?
Uh,
Your name is Christian.
The only thing that needs to happen is the video plays. I have it set so it's automatically gonna switch through. It's just a video. It's okay. Just play the video.
Okay.
Hundred, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94, 93, 92, 91, 90, 89, 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75.
75 years later,
2,000 years later.
3,000 years later, one eternity later.
Okay, yeah. I just need the video played on the TV. Yeah. To prepare for my middle school graduation, I was thinking back and realized that I've been listening to music longer than I've been alive. Even before I was born, I would be subject to feeling my siblings practicing their instruments late at night, including my sister Kaya playing piano. This would cause me to hiccup, which prompted my mom to decide to sign me up for music early on. When I was around 3 or 4, my favorite thing to do on the piano was rolling my toy truck along the edges of the keys and randomly pushing down keys in the pedal as my sister was practicing to mess her up. This is what the already beat-up piano looked like after me. When I heard my sister play the Moonlight Sonata at a recital, I told my mom, I want to play that. That's when my parents thought I could start to try playing piano with my hands. I started with some lighthearted piano lessons in kindergarten. I found great joy in being able to create somewhat articulate sounds with my own pudgy, dirty little fingers, in addition to my other pursuits. Though at that time, my brain couldn't handle much more than remembering which of my fingers corresponded to which number. My first recital was in a friendly room with a small group of people watching. I have almost no memory of it, but after the first few performances, I went through quite a few changes. First, my attire. Then the hard part, the bow. And finally, my mouth. I looked like a gaping fish the whole time, according to my mom. It was after I transitioned to Miss Anna's studio, I was faced with more regular recitals and a wider variety of music. It was scary walking up and playing in front of all the big kids, but the food afterwards and fooling around with other kids in Exlo made it all worth it. When I learned my first concerto movement, having someone playing along with me was frightening because half the time I was in my own world. A world where tempo is a suggestion and rests are optional. My first Bach piece was an invention, which I thought was just a way to torment small children. After more exposure, I could begin to see the beauty in Bach. Being able to play so many voices, interweaving like a choir with just 2 hands, was empowering for me and a great introduction to polyphonic music. My first attempt at what loosely resembled a composition sort of mimicked Bach's structure. My first romantic piece was a Chopin Nocturne. My first attempts at banging my way through the delicate piece were unsuccessful, and resulted in persistent nagging by my mother to play softer. Mom was always feeding me her half-baked advice that helped guide me through this new genre of music, which was sort of like the deaf leading the blind. I started to like romantic pieces, because 1, they were so new and refreshing to me, and 2, I got to play around with the pedals more, which was a love stemming from my mischievous habits of mashing the pedals as my sister practiced before. This led to my first Debussy piece, one of my sister's favorite composers. Clair de Lune was everyone's favorite, which also prompted more familial nagging. Next came contemporary music, most notably Chopin. Getting to smash the keys with my fist as hard as I could and call it practicing was immensely fun, and I could easily see the humor in Chopin's humoresque. The first time I had to at least act professionally, which was like teaching a fish how to walk, was preparing for a full concerto, Saint-Saëns Second. By the time I had finished all 3 movements, my sheet music looked like a war zone. It also was my first time performing with an orchestra and working with a conductor. On the stage, it felt like chaos. Having all that sound surrounding me was overwhelming, but finally hearing a full orchestra playing it felt so good.
You said it was me?
So for my project, I will be playing Nella Fantasy on the clarinet. And Nella Fantasy, it translates to In My Fantasy. And this piece describes like the hope for a better world.
All right, this concludes our public part of the event, and we'll have awards for the sticker competition and some other things, announcements. Then we'll have a hat passed on. 2 hats. One hat is where you put your votes for your favorite project, because one project is going to win this competition. Only one. The other hat is where we're going to put the money. I hope you're all equipped with a lot of cash, because the winning project is going to take a fortune home. It always does. I just remember when it was last year, we were near $300. The winning project. So, and then after that, we'll have food. I'm going to ask my dear assistants and friends in Croatia to close the broadcast, because the rest of the part is private. So they're going to have, thank you very much, they're going to have some their own announcements in here, and we can turn up the volume.
Yeah, so how you heard, they're gonna celebrate what they also earned, because everybody paid wonderfully. And I would say, and of course, thank you for Anna Uspenskaya, to the professor, to the teacher of this class, Hunter Mill Music Studio, and to thank you for all the parents and friends who was watching, and they're also supporting their child. And I think it's super important also in this age, and actually not just this age, every time, all the time. If the parents or friends can be there supporting, please do it, because it means a lot. So, and I want to thank also to our partners, because we have a lot of partners from around the world, and the most, like, we are working together with the Ciccarone Music and Arts, and also with Price Attraction, and other you can see also a lot of orchestras from Europe, from US, and also studios just for rehearsals. We have all, like, also Kauri Opera Orchestra, so all the projects, color orchestra and everything, as you can see, and they're all important, also not just for our Carnegie Hall project or color orchestra, also for this studio concert is a big support for us. And also we are streaming in all the major platforms, in YouTube, in Facebook, of course, in LinkedIn. We are, I think, most in LinkedIn and YouTube we are present, and Instagram, of course, Vimeo. So if you didn't watch maybe the today's show, you can rewatch it. You can go in the best, I think, in YouTube. You can rewatch it there in the YouTube, in the live content in the folder. And yeah, thank you for watching. And my name is Christian, and I hope you enjoyed today's concert. See you soon in 2 months, I think. And yeah, stay tuned.